Okay, there it goes. There's start recording. Mr. Eric, handsome gentleman on the left. Oh, didn't even go for the slap bump. Oh, savage. I like it. I like it already. Look at him not knowing what to do. Imagine a Gracie Baja guy trying to fucking pull out early. I dig it. Yeah, you can see the calf at play immediately. I get where you're at. That's okay. So, Kosotogari, which is the one that you try and go to, maybe by proxy of him pulling you forwards, rather than you actually sticking your leg out there, it kind of looks like you just get stumbled forwards. So actually, I won't mention it because it looks like you just get stumbled. Not to worry. Getting taken down. Not a massive pain in the ass from this position at all. You did the right things by trying to pull your knee to your chest. What I would recommend is trying to go inside position at this stage with the right foot so that you could potentially elevate him with butterfly hooks, sending him over this direction here. It's okay if it doesn't work out, not a problem, but just in reference for next time. Try as best you can not to frame at the face. Go under the armpit with inside frames. This frame is beautiful. This left-handed frame is fantastic, but just keep this tucked inside because otherwise you're going to give up underhooks pretty easily. All he really had to do was bring his elbow up to this position. I don't know why he didn't do that, but that's okay. That's better. Controlling that arm is much better. When you're in this position, when you've got his elbow completely thrown out this here, you've got two options. You can upgrade your left hand up into the armpit and then start to send him this direction. If he does a good job at pulling his knees behind your back, what you need to do is start to pull a hip escape, essentially. I know it's going to be difficult with the pant grip, but you should be able to at least get your left knee up through the middle here. Or might be a little bit advanced, but you still can invert at this stage as well over your right shoulder, where you could start to bring your knees and elbows back together, back on the inside. I wouldn't recommend overwrapping the arm like this. Yes, you're going to keep him stuck, pinned across your body. Yes, you will prevent him from being able to cross-face you, near side underhook, anything of that degree. But you're also limiting your own ability to use your upper body at this stage. It'd be a really great idea to have this, but with the half guard in the opposite direction. So on his other leg, then you could use the knee lever over this side and he wouldn't be able to post. So that would be an option for sure. Because you've already dragged his arm across the body like this, I think that placing your right shoelaces of this leg in behind this knee and sending him over this direction would be the best option. You could probably turn it into an arm drag on the far side, but there's a bit of leg work to do there that I probably wouldn't think would be possible in a clean manner. So yeah, if you, instead of putting the knee in here, put the butterfly hook in, keep that elbow dragged across. Even if you just maintain the grip on the sleeve here and send in this direction with a sort of scissor sweep at this stage, that would be a really good idea as well. Bringing your left knee to your chest and then using your right foot in the outside of his left hip to send him over here. Great job at keeping that left knee up through the gap. That was really nice. Prevented the mount quite well. Back towards half guard. At this stage, you could overwrap his arm with your right arm, his left arm with your right arm, and then you could hit him with a knee lever. That'd be really nice. Oh, well timed. Very well timed. That was beautiful. As soon as he started to fixate on the lower body, you got going. That's great. Excellent work. From close guard, let's build height. Let's stop him from stopping us building height any means possible. Disconnect these hands from your lapel or your collar or your sleeve or anything of that variety, and then let's stand up. His guard's already open, so you could start to bring a knee up the middle here. You just got to be particularly careful in these exchanges that you don't give up, or that you don't present your hands down towards the floor, because when you do that, you're obviously going to be in trouble in terms of arm bars and triangles and other associated things. So keeping your hands busy on them at the very least, and then bringing your knee up through the middle would have been a really nice adjustment at this stage. He does a good job at using a scissor sweep motion that I was talking about beforehand. What you needed to recognize is that letting go of this left hand would have kept you up at this stage. Keeping that grip is the only thing that sends you down. See how he doesn't actually have contact over your left arm with any of his body parts? So you could have prevented this sweep. If he would have had a sleeve grip, yeah, okay, fair enough. You wouldn't have been able to prevent it because he had your post already stuck. But let's keep that in mind for next time as well. You're on your side there, so it shouldn't really count for a knee on belly. I mean, kind of, but the judges can be finicky. You're doing a really good job at noticing where he has no base and then coming up on top, which is great. Showing a really nice ability here to consistently get back to top position, even if you do get put on bottom. Great job wedging this near side arm with the right knee. You can leave that left leg in that position. It's not really doing a whole lot for him whatsoever. It only really prevents you from traveling upwards momentarily, where you kind of have to think about it, but you don't really, and you've figured out the perfect response to that. Just bring your left knee up through the middle and end up in mount. Really nice job sticking the mount at that stage, making sure that your shoulders and your chest are heavy and your hips are light. It looks like you've climbed a fair degree of height up the body, which is exactly where we want to be. And you're doing a phenomenal job at when he turns on his side, pulling that heel right to the pocket of the hip, and then having your right knee up against his spine. This is really, really nice from this position. Great transition. When he stops facing his side, then you can start to climb back down the body and go back into a regular mount, preferentially exposing things like head and arm chokes, katagatamis, cross collars, Ezekiel's, all of those sorts of things. But you've got him in a pretty peculiar position here, which is great. What I would say is that if you are to get knocked down to your butt like this, your primary concern is keeping him between your knees. That's the only thing you want to do. So if his shoulders get further away from your knees here and he tries to get his shoulders down towards the mat over this direction, that's something you need to address. So I'd use my right hand coming off the near side of the head towards the far side of the head, or maybe even better, underneath the shoulder if you could. A figure four on this side of the arm will do that to a degree, but it is quite short-lived. So they're the couple of options that you have at that moment. Of course, you've got strangles, you've got loop chokes, you've got all those things, but I prefer that you maintain top position the entire time, or switch off into the back or into an armbar if you can free your bottom leg. Beautiful job building hip height as he's turning in there. Fantastic work sticking the position, getting his elbow across his center line. You've got back exposure here. You've got the short katagatame that we're using from like side mount, or not side mount, but he's on his side and you're in mount. You've also got regular katagatames from here. You can pretty much take double unders here if you'd like, and then go into the S mount transitions as well. If you can pin his left wrist down to the floor, you've got mounted triangles. There's a shitload of options here, which is really good. I would make an effort to punch that near side underhook on your right arm at this stage. Maybe not double unders, but at the very least, that left arm of his coming up towards his shoulder and then past his shoulder up towards his head. He's going to give you a big bridge response. Oh, yeah, that's where you got the Ezekiel. Oh, great. Yeah, it was fucking hard to see. You're right. Man, great job. Really nice positional exchanges. Really nice job sticking the mount as soon as you got there. The only thing that got you swept a couple of times was just your awareness and understanding of posting and really putting yourself out to base with your hands rather than just accepting bottom position. So that's something I definitely want you to work on. The mounting looked great. The side control positioning looked fantastic. Obviously with your calf and everything that you were speaking about, I think it was rotator cuff, left calf. Yeah, that's right. Obviously, with that, that's going to limit you to a fair degree in terms of the takedowns. But that's completely okay. The butterfly hooks coming in, so knees to chest, making sure that we're always pulling our knees towards our chest in those transition periods between standing and seated would have been the adjustment that I've made there. But aside from that, really fucking nice, man. Really nice. Congrats. Good stuff, Eric.